is up, guys? Welcome back to Friday the 14th podcast, UHD. Sir, are you flashing over
I'm flashing.
there? I am the 4K bad guy. When we start the shows out, I feel like we tend not to introduce ourselves in this show. I know for the main show, it's like I say my name, and then here I think I kind of talk over, not say I'm the 4K bad guy.
Yeah, I was gonna let you give your introduction.
My introduction. Yeah, but I'm the 4K bad guy. If you're new to this show, we review movies. Some may be good, some may be bad, but overall they're underrated.
Underrated. Yeah. Hopefully everybody had a good day. My name is Juan, the real Juan, and Nick. I'm excited to talk about the movie today.
The
What movie are
movie
we talking about?
we are gonna be talking about GOTHiKA.
GOTHiKA.
GOTHiKA from 2003. So this movie came out when I was a real youngling,
Young lad.
young lad. So I mean, 2003, man. You know what else came out in 2003? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the
Yeah.
remake.
Jessica Biel. 2003, man. I don't know. I was looking at. I think a few years before this, you had like I don't know about before this, but I know it was around the time where you had a lot of like remakes. You probably had like The Grudge was getting ready to come out, The Ring, Wrong Turn. Some of those like a lot of people kind of forget about them when they come to talking about classic horror movies. People think of like the 80s and the 70s, but the early 2000s, man, they had some. I mean, a lot of people probably crap on them, but I think they're pretty fun movies. What else is one? You talked about it a few weeks ago. Silent Hill.
Ooh, Silent Hill.
Yeah. Silent Hill came out around this time.
Look what I got.
Yeah.
Now I'm
you
ready
have
for
it.
the review.
Oh no.
We're not reviewing GOTHiKA, we're reviewing Silent Hill. No, but yeah, I mean, if you want to give a spoiler, I mean, yeah, sure, that'll be our pick right after your pick.
Oh yeah, I forgot about my pick.
Because essentially, that was gonna be my pick for this week's.
Yeah. So is that a lead in straight into after mine or? I think this movie that we're going to talk about today can very, very, very be in that conversation of underrated, yeah, and also misleading in a good way, though. Yeah, in a good way. So I think it's going to be fun.
Misleading. How misleading was it?
I could not find this movie, so Nick said if I wanted to continue to be on this podcast, I had to go physically find a copy, and I didn't bring it in here with me, but I did physically find a copy, and I'm happy that I did. Have you checked out the special features on that thing yet?
I'm not going to fold. I kind of wanted to. I mean, as silly as it sounds, the first thing I was probably gonna click on was the music video.
I did watch the music video. I did watch the Limp Bizkit music video. And then I watched, there's like a 16 minute making of, which was pretty interesting. I got to say, props to Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit, because he made out with Halle Berry for almost that entire music video. And I mean, yeah, how easy is that? Yeah, I'm just going to lip sing, and then we're just going to make out for the entire music video. So congratulations to Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit, almost 20 years ago. Insane.
We're talking about years, and a cool movie that would have been done today actually would have been Disturbia. I don't know how far that goes into the horror genre, but it's more like thriller. It's the 15 years anniversary today.
That is insane. That would have been pretty cool to do. I also feel like this movie, GOTHiKA, kind of has the same type of feeling. Like if you look at the poster and read, the Disturbia poster or the synopsis, it could very well be misleading into a horror kind of movie. But I feel like it's a thriller suspense, and at the end of the day, that's how I feel like that's how I feel GOTHiKA is, and I think it's a fun misleading though. So Disturbia, just like GOTHiKA, I was reading some of the reviews. Like GOTHiKA got really bad reviews. I'm like, there's no way it's not this bad at all. And I know Disturbia kind of gets flack too, but I like Disturbia. I don't know. I think
it's a great movie, underrated movie.
It's a Friday the 14th movie.
It's Friday the 14th. It was I wouldn't say joked around because I mean it was kind of I guess you can say joke around. I remember messaging Franco like one of these days I'm gonna choose Disturbia. And then Franco's like, nah, I'm gonna choose it. Bet. We'll see who chooses first.
Now the ball's in your court. The ball's in your court.
The ball's in my court.
Yep.
Where do I want to throw it into? What show?
Disturbia. I even think.
Like I said, I don't know if it really goes into the horror genre. I mean I kind of consider it to be in that genre.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Disturbia you can almost put it in there with like Rear Window. I don't know if you've seen Rear Window from Alfred Hitchcock from back in the day, like in the 50s. But it's kind of like a horror thriller suspense, and I think it'd be a pretty fun episode to talk about. Especially, yeah. I mean, I know we missed the 15th year on the date anniversary, but it's still celebrating its 15-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's see. We'll go right into the synopsis. What do we got? What do we got for nice synopsis? Wait, IMDb. I am the bad guy. Okay. So a depressed psychiatrist wakes up as a patient in the asylum where she worked, with no memory of why she is there or what she has done. The star rating for that movie was 5.8 out of 10 for IMDb.
I know, like I was saying a little bit ago, like a lot of different streaming services, not streaming services, but sites, like trash this movie, and I don't know why. Like you said, IMDb has it at 5.8. Rotten Tomatoes is 15%. That's bonkers to me. I don't know. But I don't like Rotten Tomatoes. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. It's not fresh certified, unfortunately. Stupid. I'm going through because on IMDb it shows you more movies like this, and I mean a lot of the movies they have up here are like, of course, they're early 2000 movies. So that tends to be the trend that early 2000 movies they have like lower score ratings.
They made some money though, man. These horror movies make money. GOTHiKA made almost $150 million, and a lot of people don't think about it today, but I mean, this cast had a pretty good cast. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, you have Halle Berry, Robert Downey Jr. Who else we have here? I'm just kind of the cast. We have Penelope Cruz. John Carroll Lynch. Is he? I've seen him. I think I've seen him in a lot of stuff.
He is an underrated actor. If we can use, I know that this show is based on that word, but he's really somebody who is like super underrated. I first saw him in the Drew Carey show. He played Drew Carey's big brother.
I know he played a character and it's probably more of a well-known role, I guess. For American Horror Story, he plays Twisty the Clown. I remember he came on an episode of Walking Dead. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. Probably not, but I mean, he makes an appearance. He's a just say he's a trainer for someone.
The
Um,
trainer.
and then like he came on The Founder. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, but the McDonald's movie with Michael
Oh
Keaton.
yeah, The Founder. That's an amazing movie. He plays one of the McDonald brothers.
Yeah,
That movie will make you want a McDonald's cheeseburger so fast.
it's I was like, why am I watching this movie? But I think I've seen it twice. Uh, really, and it's really
And he,
cool.
he he plays Sheriff Ryan, which he doesn't show up until later into the movie, but he's a really really important part.
Yeah. Um, and the other actor, Charles.
Charles
Charles.
Dutton.
Who flew? What roles does he play in other movies?
Uh, uh, Charles Dutton. I know he's done. Now I get him confused with somebody else. Let me check. But I know
Oh yeah, look,
Bernard
it comes on Alien 3.
Alien 3. Oh yeah, you guys reviewed that a while ago back.
Yeah, so he's that character who makes that speech. Or he's like the bad guy, but he's a good guy.
He's also in A Time to Kill, which is a great movie. Legion, The Perfect Guy. Um, I know he's in a lot of TV shows as well. He's in Scooby Doo WrestleMania Rewind.
Oh man.
Um, it's pretty much some of the smaller stuff. I know he's in Law and Order Los Angeles, and then he plays Dr. Douglas Gray, which is the husband to Halle Berry, and then you have Bernard Heel, who plays like I guess the top guy of the asylum. I forgot where I was like, where do I see his face familiar from? And he's actually he plays the captain on Titanic. So I think this was a great cast. I don't know about you, and I'm sure we'll get more into it. But yeah, right off the bat, since we're talking about the cast, I had to mention really good. I can't believe I never had seen this movie either. Like before today or Sunday, and then I rewatched it today. Like I couldn't believe that I'd never seen this movie. Was this a first time watch for you, or have you seen it before?
Yeah, full on watch.
Full on.
Yeah, it's very
And
well.
what a Thanksgiving movie to go see because this came out November 21st. So could you imagine going and seeing this on Thanksgiving weekend with your family? Like, what are you gonna go watch for Thanksgiving?
Go watch GOTHiKA. What is that? Is that like a Thanksgiving? It's a plate.
It's
I
a
don't know.
turkey stuck in your mouth. What the hell are you talking about?
It has Halle Berry and Robert Downey Jr.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble.
Which this was just like 5 years before Iron Man. So
Nice.
interesting.
All right, man. As far as ratings,
Oh,
let's vote
already?
all.
No.
Do you want to stall a little bit more?
No, you good. You want to go first? Or want me to go first?
I'm kind of scared to go first.
All right, I'll go first. Again, I went in with a complete open mind. I didn't read any of the bad stuff until after I seen the movie. And I honestly have to say that I really liked it. Right off the bat, I'm going to give it a 3.5. And, hour and a half long movie. It takes you one turn, and then it completely does kind of a 360. You can kind of see it coming, but again, I didn't really know. I also had Shutter Island in the back of my mind, like, is this going to give me a Shutter Island kind of ending? But it didn't. So I thought this movie was going to go 2 or 3 different ways, and it went an opposite way. So I enjoyed it. 3.5 out of 5. Yeah. What about you? Still scared?
Oh, 3.5. Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be the generous 3.5. I'm feeling very generous today.
Oh yeah, nice hot knife through butter.
Do butter, the ketchup blood, and before getting to that movie, of course, you got to show off our little custom for Friday the 14th UHD cover arts.
Which I will say the artwork to this was pretty cool. It might seem generic, but you know, I liked it. So, from what I understand, these are ghost stories from Dark Cat or Castle, Dark Castle,
Dark Castle.
or Castle Dark. The Stephen King, not adaptation, but like
Dark Tower? Is that what you're trying
uh,
to refer to?
no,
No.
I saw it in one of the special features.
Castle.
No, that's a video game. Fucking shit. Castle Rock, maybe.
Castle.
It's like a multiverse Stephen King adaptation. I
I
don't
thought
know.
that was Dark Tower. You said Stephen King multiverse. That's
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. You know, I'm probably not the kind of person to be talking about this stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nick, take over.
so you're. I mean, you said Stephen King, and the only thing that Stephen King multiverse to me is, which is known as the Dark Tower.
Well, because I know in the special features they kept referring to Ghost Ship.
Ghost ship.
Yeah. Um.
Talk
So I don't
about
know if oh, there it is. Uh, I guess it's a TV. Oh, Dark Castle Entertainment. Okay, never mind.
Dark Castle Entertainment.
Yes, so I was way off, but I guess they were just the entertainment studio was just throwing off a bunch of different like ghost stories, and Ghost Ship was one, and then GOTHiKA was the other.
Ghost ship, another early 2000s boy.
Yeah. So that, the last 3 minutes completely don't listen to. Go to the bathroom or something.
So what? What's you referred
Like,
to?
what the hell's he talking about? He's over there having a fucking stroke and nobody's saying anything.
I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't save it.
Yeah,
Um,
I have Ghost Ship. I've never seen it. Have you seen it?
no, that's one of those other movies that I need to dive into.
House of Wax too with Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah, House of Wax. Earliest 2000 flick.
We're gonna review all 2000s films.
Yeah, we'll just have a 2000s month.
There's a lot of them. Then we're gonna watch Hostel. But yeah, that was the rate. After the ratings, we talk about this movie. And
Fun movie. I like how it opens up with Chloe, which is played by Penelope Cruz, and you kind of see Miranda, who is Halle Berry's character. And Halle Berry, like you said, the synopsis is a psychological therapist, kind of. But she's, I guess, trying to get through, and the movie opens up with like her having a session with Chloe, and she stands up and like holds Halle Berry's head, like whispers something to her, and then she's like, "What a way for this movie to start out."
She said something, and it was very satisfying. It was like an ASMR.
Yeah. In the first 10 minutes, you get introduced to those two. You get introduced to Mr. Douglas, which is played by Charles Dutton, and then you get a young Robert Downey Jr. who plays Pete. What do you think of a first like introduction out of those four characters. Like you get all four of them in like the first 10 minutes. Um, you know, what'd you think? Do you like those four? Like, was there anybody that just felt like they did not fit? Even though Penelope Cruz is really in it for that much, and neither is Charles Dutton. So,
Um, if I had to say the person I like the least,
at least, yeah.
okay, so Charles Dunn. I don't know. You just give me the creeps. I mean, that's probably it was intentional, but just that scene when he's talking to Halle Berry and he goes for a kiss. I just feel it was very
And
awkward.
they look in the mirror.
And
That's
then he
another early 2000s movie, Mirrors.
mirrors, and he threw in that line because I was so I forgot what he was saying. Yeah, because Halle Berry she was being referred to as Mirror, right? And then he's like, oh, what does that make me? God. It is, but that seems it's just so weird because to make it seem like they don't give it to you right away, like oh they're a married couple. So it's just like oh
Yeah, because he gives Pete Robert Downey Jr. like a cigar, and he's like, "Keep an eye on my wife." Because at first I'm like, are they like fooling around, not supposed to be seeing each other? Because Robert Downey Jr. walks in, and they all of a sudden just let me zip up my pants here, and then
put it back in
I
your
thought
pants, sir.
that's
Control yourself.
in the extended cut,
The extended cut.
and then he gives Robert Downey Jr. the cigar, and he's like, "Keep an eye on my wife," and that's when you're like, "Oh, they're actually married." Um, but then I was waiting for something dirty to happen. I felt like I was watching like Days of Our Lives. I was like, is Robert Downey Jr. about to nail Halle Berry? Like, what's gonna go on here? I don't know why. I was just thinking bad thoughts.
Bad thoughts. Turn into a
Um,
bad guy.
yeah. This is where Tony
Penelope
Stark was
Cruz.
born.
Oh yeah, he's like, I am Iron Man.
What do you think of like these Asylum movies? Because even though early 2000s, like you're starting to get some, just there's a lot of not quite a bit out there, but it is one of those. You have this one. I kept comparing it to Shutter Island, even though Shutter Island's like on a kind of a whole different level. But what do you think of like psychological thrillers or horror movies like taking place at like an asylum? Do you like the asylum settings, or you like something different?
I like Arkham Asylum. Also, no, I find it quite the setting is quite interesting. I mean, depends on what you're going with the story. Because not every time it's gonna work. Just like, oh, we got an asylum right here. Make magic happen.
Yeah, I like how they showed you different parts. Like there was one scene where I guess we can talk about how she got into that cell.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was trying to think like if there's like any big importance besides something really I think goes down besides the
The
conversation
sort of,
with Halle Berry and Penelope Cruz. That
yeah,
little sexy ASMR and um
yeah. There's not really anything important other than she finishes her paperwork. She goes
paperwork.
down to the pool for some reason, swims,
Oh, she
and
goes
then
in the pool.
then she gets in her car and heads home.
And then the Robert Downey Jr. He's like
He says, "Let me
the
follow you."
dialogue
Yeah,
it follows.
he's like, "Let me follow you. Your husband told me to keep an eye on you," and she doesn't wait for him, and she takes off anyway. How important is that scene? Because like, if he would have just followed her and kept an eye on her, maybe none of this stuff, which we're about to get into, would have happened.
Yeah. But that kind of sounded there. It's like I'm supposed to watch over you.
Yeah.
It's like for
Well,
what? I'm a grown ass soul, bitch.
you failed.
You failed. Yeah, like, and then we get into that. There's like the roads blocked off. I think she has to make a
You,
detour,
you think that was
and
done on purpose?
huh?
You think that was done on purpose?
I'm not really sure what the situation was going on there, but it's like the saying goes, everything happens for a reason. So, but that she's driving and then she sees that blonde girl inside in the middle of the road. It's like, oh shit, I'm gonna run over someone.
Which is played by Kathleen McKee, Rachel Parsons. The whole time I thought she was just like being possessed. Yeah.
Yeah, you get that. She's out of the car and then they're like doing like a face down. Like, oh, what are you doing? But like it's kind of a weird transition type of thing. Because I mean, she turns like all fiery and she just goes inside Halle Berry. Like they fuse. And it
They
transitioned like it goes black like
they become one.
they became one.
Like Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost.
Ghost.
That's pretty much what happened in this movie.
She got. I mean, so it's not. Yeah, Halle Berry got possessed,
Yeah. Rachel came inside of her.
and then it goes into like Halle Berry. It's she gets dragged into the her little cell area,
Yeah.
and like yo, what the fuck is going on? So like, there's a big old piece I'm missing here. Of course, I mean you get to revisit that of the stuff that goes down, but I don't know. It was like so how did we got from here to there, and now she's like crazy. You're supposed to be the psychiatrist. Now you're the mental patient.
But I like
Um,
how some of the scenes, Halle Berry, it is so weird because you almost can't talk about the what ifs about this movie unless you spoil the whole thing right up front. And I'm like, because she goes and talks to the lawyer, and you're just in the middle of it makes her look like she's the killer because while she was passed out, her husband dies, gets chopped up, and they blame Halle Berry for it because she was in the house with blood all over her. And, you're kind of just like left wondering, like, okay, how did this happen? Like, we didn't get to see anything. The last thing we saw was she was in front of a, half naked, homely looking little white girl. And I'm like, is this going to turn and go that way, or is it going to go this way? And what did you think? Did you think that it was like she got possessed and then she went and did like an Amityville horror thing and just killed her husband and then blacked out from it?
well, I mean, I feel like that's kind of more like that's essentially what you're supposed to think. I mean, I feel like oh, she got possessed. Well, it has to be her who straight up killed her husband. But they try to make you think like, oh, maybe there was someone else in the house also. It's like what? Because a lot of times they try to make Robert Downey Jr.'s character look like he was the bad guy.
Yeah, especially where she wakes up and he just automatically walks towards her and says, uh, restrain her. And, that you're automatically like, damn, dude, chill out. Just the other day, you guys were coworkers. Now you're having people jump on top of her. Or there's that scene where he physically restrains her until somebody comes in. So
I think I truly believe that he went he was being salty because he got friend zoned.
oh yeah.
Just straight up. Because I don't know if this is like going way past or whatever, but there's that scene where he does say like, "Oh, you you wanted to have an affair with me, like or she was saying like were we gonna have did we have an affair? It's like no. Did I
But you
want
wanted
to?
to.
But you want to? It's like yes. I'm like oh shit. I don't know. I mean, it's almost like all that they're trying to play it off like all her memory just was just completely wiped off. Like she didn't know what's going on. Like he could have said anything he wanted to. He could have straight up lied.
Yeah. Or I was also thinking that they were going to throw the Shutter Island twist at you and be like, she was never a therapist. She was a patient the entire time. And she's in here for killing her husband. That's how I also thought. I'm like, wait a minute. Did Shutter Island take this idea
Mm,
from GOTHiKA?
it looks
And I'm
like.
like,
I mean, it does look like it could have been that way.
yeah.
Like maybe this is it's like an alternate. I don't know. It sounds pretty silly to say, but an alternate universe.
Because, I mean, Mark Ruffalo's in Shutter Island. You got Tony Stark in this one. The Dark Avengers.
The Dark Avengers. Catwoman, Halle Berry, or Storm. You take your pick, whatever is fun.
Um, the shower scene where I find the
so this this
creepiest.
this, this is I'll let you finish.
Oh,
But this is where your three comes from. It's gotta be why at this point you got three.
this is the most disturbing line I think of the whole movie, and it's where the guard forces her in the shower room and pushes her in, and she's like, "Go wash away your sins." And I'm like, "Oh no!" That itself made me want to go take a shower because Halle Berry's already frightened because she's like, I sit here and talk to all these people. Now you're gonna feed me to the lions and make me go to the showers. And then that line that the guard said,
Go,
just
uh,
yeah, it
go
was pretty
wash away your
creepy.
sins.
Yeah,
Halle Berry just walking in the shower and just bunch of of course nude women. Penelope Cruz is in there just like all playing with the water. Just spitting out water.
and then they just, they pretty much did a whole Carrie scene in this movie, except there is not that kind of blood. Um, it was a pretty
There
pretty
was
creepy.
there was blood.
Not that kind of blood though.
Just no, because she sees Penelope Cruz, and there's that whole stare down between them, and then out of nowhere, the blonde ghost comes back, and she was kind of giving me 13 Ghosts nude girl vibes, and then she gets like she's over again cut up, like so what the hell? How'd she bring a blade in there?
What kind of blade is this?
Yeah, such a weird scene.
What did you
Like,
think though of they end up like cutting on her, and then you see her forearms start getting real bloody. Did you like that scene before she goes and meets her lawyer?
yeah, it's just give it getting cut up and then
I got Freddy vibes from
nightmare.
yeah.
I mean, they can't even see the fucking ghost. It's like, yeah, she's definitely doing it to herself. And no, this wasn't the collection. Arkin when he does that to remember where he's going. Self cutting. But that I mean, the not alone arm lettering popping up.
Oh yeah, which is it says not alone.
Yeah,
That'd have been pretty cool if there was like a Bray Wyatt message and it was like it said let me
let me in.
in. This movie was a lot creepier than I thought it was going to be. I don't know what it is about, maybe just hospital scenes or asylum scenes. Um, And I didn't think that this movie was going to have some pretty good wide shots and cinematography, especially coming from like an early 2000s horror movie. But some of the scenes that are like shot where Halle Berry's by herself and she has to act super surprised and scared when she's by herself, some of that was like really, really well done. Because there are some scenes where she's just like looking around the corners and she can't react to anybody other than just her being in a room. I think she did pretty good. Like the scene where she's like looking in like the mirror, I think it is, and she gets out of the bloodbath. I know that's a little ways down in the movie, but I thought it was a fun scene.
Yeah, but there's a scene that
I keep
what is
talking
it
about
that there's
baths
that
and showers. I
it's
don't
talking
know
about
why.
bass. I'm telling you that one scene did it for you. um, but when she gets transferred to that smaller room, I was very claustrophobic. Get real
After
anxiety.
after the first attempt of her trying to escape,
It was like such a too small of a space. I was like, "Ugh, I don't like it.
that's where she starts like throwing herself up against the wall, and the guards are like, "She's trying to hurt herself."
Just trying to, yep. In the camera, I mean, yeah, you're seeing the you don't see no damn ghost like throwing her like side, getting this getting her ass candy ass beat down by the rock.
So the second time you see the sheriff, because you see him at the beginning when he tells her that she's got to go a different route because the road is closed. Then you see him again at the confession table or at the table with the lawyer, and then it's explained that that was Doug's best friend, and he's like really trying to be intimidating and really trying to like bully her and like saying something she don't want to say. And he shows her the pictures, and he's like, "I had to pick him up and put him in separate bags."
She's like, I don't want to see this.
Yeah,
um,
I
look at
made
it,
the
look at
puzzle.
it.
I don't want to see this shit.
Come on. This was my best friend. You took him away from me.
This was my best artwork, she says too.
What the hell?
Um, yeah, which I think John Carl Lynch plays a really good sheriff in this movie. I know this isn't the first time that he's played like a person of law, but I think he does just a really good job at being like he looks like a big, intimidating like cop. So I think I think it was a good role for him. Um, After the attempted escape, she's back in one of the smaller rooms, and the ghost like revisits her. I think after, and the ghost says like you're next or something, or no, Penelope Cruz says she's next because she goes and talks to her on the courtyard.
The court, yeah. I had to point out that they suck at volleyball. They suck.
You mean that's not let
I'm
you play?
I,
That's
I'm
my
no
play.
expert myself, but I mean they suck. Um, when I hear that line, that Halle Berry's character is next, oh, you can't tell me I'm the only one who thought of the wrestler.
Goldberg.
Say what? Goldberg's after her?
Did you know you're next?
You're next. No, not Goldberg. It's gonna be
That's gonna be that
another
possession out of
Saudi
you.
show.
Just like Goldberg spear the hell out of you, and that ghost will disappear.
Because I mean that's after the scene where you see the guy, the large guy with the tattoo, who's
Oh
in
yeah.
the little cell area. Um, did you think that was a ghost, or did you actually think, no, it's actually just a real person?
Oh, the one haunting her.
Well, the guy that was in the cell with Penelope Cruz.
I thought it was a ghost.
That was good. I mean, they try to play it off because I mean, they go over there like, oh, there's no one in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of creepy. I mean, you didn't see a face or anything, of course, because it was like it's like a mystery type of thing. But just seeing that guy's body That's it's pretty enough. Nightmare Fuel right there.
Um, what do you think of the flashbacks of her? Like she keeps having the flashback of her husband getting murdered. Um, I kind of wish they would have saved the flashbacks for just the whole ending scene, like how they kind of do it anyway. They kind of show the whole thing anyway at the end. So I kind of wish they didn't have the flashbacks until the very end because you got most of it at the end anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no. Um, she escapes again, and this time she's like successful.
She makes it out. Well, that whole there's that scene. Well, the whole scene, like she's getting away, but she goes inside the pool. I
Oh
just
yeah,
want to know how the hell did she actually pull up the hiding? Because I mean, the pool is very clear. You can actually see right through it.
she probably pulled. I mean, she probably pulled off. Like Drax does. If you're super quiet, and they can't see you.
You know, we were talking about the whenever Halle Berry was going against Ice at the Rock, but it really reality was John Cena being the shit out of Halle Berry. You couldn't see him on the camera, but
That's
no, yeah,
GOTHiKA Part Two.
GOTHiKA Part 2. Um, but that pool and she's like little bubbles come out like oh she got really lucky and she gets assisted with one of the guards. He like he looks back like oh shit. It's like shit.
Coast is clear.
Yeah, I saw something on the footage there.
Did you have any issues with any like the pacing? Like, was it a nice, quick hour and a half for you, or did it feel like, come on, how long does this scene have to be? What's one of the main reasons that it didn't get a 5 for you?
Oh, a five.
Yeah, what's one of the main nitpicks that you're like, you know what, I can't give this a 5.
Because I didn't see no Robert Downey Jr. ass. Not bad. No, that's not it. um,
Like I won't give too much into spoiling while you think about yours, but mine would be just the ending to me kind of fell a little flat.
I guess because it was I had a certain character do more. Um, and then some is just like it's really I don't know. I mean, yeah, the some of the flashbacks were pretty could have done a little bit better. Yeah, but we're not giving too much because we're almost there to the point where we cover the whole movie. But yeah,
Which I mean, it's just a. I mean, I'm just pointing out like it's still a good movie to me, but that's just one of the small nitpicks why I didn't like give it a higher score.
there's a there's a sort of scene that is kind of it's it's kind of hilarious to me, but that's a little bit further down when you get the reveal.
The She escapes again. She gets in Homeboy's car. The guard that gives her the keys. Uh, did you like the scene where the brakes would not work and here comes the semi and it looks like she's gonna eat the semi, but
It's
she barely escapes it.
gonna be some Final Destination shit going on now. Um,
Which the only thing I was a little upset about is why was the possessor, like why was the ghost trying to kill Halle Berry? If anything, Halle Berry would be the one to try to like make peace with everybody. Like you done sucked your way into this girl's body and murdered everybody she loved or who she thought she loved. And now you're sitting here trying to do away with Halle Berry. I didn't make that. That to me kind of was like, why?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of movies, ghosts seem to be
They're just
they,
bitter.
they're bitter. They're pretty shitty. They're like they want to be a good person, but they're still a dick in the afterlife. So let me be an asshole first, and then I'll make a face turn towards the end. But yeah,
You ain't going to heaven that way, motherfucker.
they mean it's weird because they want to be put to rest. They want their justice. They want their happy ending. But yeah, just they're just salty about their death. So they need to take it out
Take it out on somebody.
pretty much. And Halle Berry was just like, yeah, I mean, I know you're probably a good person, but you need to feel my pain before they can help you.
You need to feel my GOTHiKA.
Gah, gah. I think it's also because she had a tie-in with a character.
You want to
Which I,
reveal it?
oh yeah, we're gonna reveal it. I feel like we're
I've been waiting. Go ahead.
okay. Well, besides her answering because I believe when she enters the house, that's whenever the first flashback goes on,
Mhm.
where she like she killed her husband, and it's like she's just like going Jack Torrance on his ass. What was the ex?
Yeah, it was the axe.
Yeah. He's like, come on, no, please don't. And they're just there all straight up possessed because I mean that's the scene. You've seen it and it's like, oh yep, she got possessed with that fire in her face. Um but after that, um after he gets pretty much killed, you see on the doorway it says not alone again.
Not alone.
Not
She
alone.
makes her way like down to the cellar, little basement looking thing, and she sees a bed with like chains everywhere
Oh
for the
shit.
the
Yeah.
two the two arms, the two legs, and then a video camera. And she's like, "What in the silence of the lamb shit did I walk into?" Um,
They play back some footage and what do you know?
he's God.
He's good.
That's what he says in that scene. He
Oh
looks back.
man.
He looks back at the camera after like doing his thing, and he says that line that he said to her at the beginning of the movie. And at that point, you're like, gross.
He's gross and he deserves got what he fucking deserved.
He
Oh
deserved to be
man.
chopped up. But she hears footsteps, and come to find out, it's just the cops coming down there and look, and they found her. But then
Yeah,
you get the
she gets spooked by that cop and then freaking she gets grabbed from behind like what the fuck?
yeah,
Um
she gets grabbed by, it's Rachel, right? The one that they couldn't find for 2 years, or was it
Rachel isn't Rachel the ghost?
who grabs her though?
I don't know, I assume some a random
Because the only other female is um not unless it was Tracy.
it was
Was that her name? Tracy, who is the one who grabbed her?
someone else, but I don't know. To me,
Or
it's like, oh,
Irene?
what the hell's the amount of time that person's been
Oh,
there?
Rachel's dead, so yeah, it was another person who grabbed her.
It's just like, what? How long is that person? Oh, I mean, but then again, because this is the first reveal. This is the first reveal. There's about to be another reveal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of for a little bit moment of that, just kind of like a head scratcher. Like, well, what the hell? Like the dude's dead already, and I would assume this person would be like close to dying or it would have been dead.
So that was the first reveal about, her husband was a sleazy rapist who kidnapped girls and he deserved it. But the second reveal
Oh man,
is, and she figured it out. Like she was sitting there thinking about it the whole time. She's really good at what she does. And Halle Berry figured it out, but she didn't know who it was. And the other accomplice was,
she was putting the pieces together.
yeah, was the sheriff who we
Hmm.
were talking about, John
Twisty the
Carl
clown.
Lynch. Yeah, Sheriff Ryan, who again He's good at being creepy, and he does it in this movie. Now that we kind of told everybody who is who, this is where I have a problem with why was she still possessed? So they give you the whole story of maybe her being possessed, and then at the end of the movie they give you the reveal that her husband and the sheriff are just really bad people. But it's like, how did she still ended up in the asylum, which to me it feels like the sheriff blackmailed her and framed her and put her in there. So if that's the case, why is it still being played in the movie that she was still possessed? That's one of the main issues I have with the movie. Was, it's great that she looked like she was being possessed. That's a good horror flick. And then they throw it at you at the end that it was her husband and the sheriff who were the bad guys and the creepies. And then the sheriff is the one who essentially framed her and put her in the psych ward, and then yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, as far I mean, she killed him and she killed her husband regardless, but because of the possession. But
Right.
that's the whole thing of the ghost, like, oh, well, I already used you up. I don't need you no more. I got my revenge on your husband because, but her just being the silent. Oh, of course, the sheriff's over there, like, oh, he's a salty bastard. I mean, he's
He
like,
wants her to stay where she's at.
that's my best friend. You killed my best friend. I don't care if you were married to that guy.
Yeah.
Kill my best friend. He loved him more than she loved him. That's what it was. And just that reveal scene where you find he because she already put the puzzles pieces together, and it's going pretty fast, but also it's very it's to me it's pretty hilarious because I mean essentially this guy the sheriff, he's literally he's telling you, he's like, you need help. Yes. I wonder who will do that. And I think he unbutters his collar a little bit. Like, yeah, I mean it's yep, Tim. It's a sheriff. It's like, and he's making it super obvious himself. Like,
Yeah, he takes his shirt off and you can see his Sons of Anarchy tattoo.
well, he's taking his shirt off. She rips off she rips his shirt open. He's like, oh, you like that, huh? But I mean, it's oh man, I like it, but then it is just kind of silly because she's also like she's getting it, but at the same time, this guy's helping her. He's like, oh, I want you to catch me. Come on, hurry up. It was just it was weird to me. But and then you get the chase that goes down. I just got to get away from this pervert now.
Which was a good. What'd you think of the chase? Did you like it?
I liked it, but
Yeah,
it could have been. I just feel like it could have been better. Because at the end of the chase, I mean, you get the return of the ghost, return of the Mac. I mean, I think Halle Berry's like Halle Berry is like backed against not necessarily a wall, but she's kind of trapped for a moment, and then the ghost is like, "Oh, all right, I'm time to desist," and it's kind of strange because she goes inside the sheriff, like you think, oh, no, she's gonna possess the body of the sheriff, but I mean, I guess she has some sort of powers that she can either possess you or just straight up like go inside you and kill you. Like, I don't know. It's kind of I don't know how ghost powers work.
Because Penelope Cruz, it almost kind of seemed like at the beginning of the movie she passed the ghost along to Halle Berry. Maybe, I don't know. Because Halle Berry wasn't seeing dead people until after the little incident with Penelope Cruz. And then it even shows you at the very, very end, you see Halle Berry see that little ghost boy before the movie ends. So it's like, did Penelope Cruz pass something along to her? Or did she, was she possessed and she passed it on to Halle Berry? Do I not have a life and am I looking too much into this? But I think maybe that's where she got the possessive from, was maybe, Penelope Cruz said something. I can't remember, like some kind of a dialogue.
She whispered in her.
Yeah. So
you're next.
Yeah. Essentially, you get a nice, warm ending. The sheriff dies. Robert Downey Jr. looks in there and sends his apologies. And then you get Penelope Cruz is out and Halle Berry's out, and they give a nice little hug before they leave. And then Halle Berry looks like she's going to see that fire truck hit that little boy, and then it's just turning up that it's just a ghost. And then you get the badassery that is Limp Bizkit.
You get the Behind Blue Eyes and credits.
Which was, I think that was a pretty badass ending. I don't know.
Maybe no, that's where the 0.5 came from. Behind Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Oh man. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. should have been bad guy. Just straight up. I don't really care.
Is that how you would have ended
it? That's a different segment.
I mean, yeah, I think Robert Downey Jr., it would have been pretty cool probably if he was like, especially since he kind of had like a love interest in with her. That would have been pretty cool, pretty gnarly.
But I feel like that was just, yeah, that would have been the too obvious route to go. It's like, nah, it's just gonna reveal it that her husband was the bad guy and his best friend the sheriff.
They were eventually going out kidnapping young girls and doing some true Hollywood shit to them.
Robert Downey, there's that scene where he's looking into the tattoo and all that means and whatever, I guess.
He was like he was the witness. Oh yeah, I saw a tattoo before he burned to death. He used his Iron Man goggles.
He used the glasses.
Which is true.
Yeah.
So.
It was good. 2000 early 2000s movie. Some weird stuff, but I mean, yeah, you got a great cast. You got a good cast, great cast, on awesome end of credits.
Yeah.
How does that song how does it actually fit the vibe of the actual movie?
Well, the poster's blue.
Oh.
And the ghost is behind Halle Berry's eyes, so it's behind blue eyes.
I was trying to look at the music video. Like, does the music video tie into actual movie, or is just random?
The music video is really, really random. The only thing that is a part of the movie is that it's Halle Berry in the cell. Like Halle Berry and Fred Durst are locked in the cell, and Fred Durst looks like the doctor. He's got the little badge around his neck, and he's just in the cell making out with Halle Berry. And then he leaves the cell, and she's stuck in there, and he's like, "Baby, come back." It's a good music video. Back in the day where, you could just make out for 3 minutes in a music video, and it'd be like the number one most. Yeah. MTV.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just like, because I was looking at the back. I think it says it on the back of the the thing, or yeah, it tells you about the music video. Like there's a behind the scenes with that and all that. It's like, oh, this that. I mean, because I remember hearing that song like back when it came out. I was like, the lyrics I would not put that in the movie together. It's like,
And that's
oh,
the yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's the
the thing
GOTHiKA
about
soundtrack right there.
that song is like it's a remake. So like that song came out like from the 70s or 80s, and Limp Bizkit redid it, and the music video was for GOTHiKA. And I'm like, yeah, that song was huge when it came out because their album, I forgot what it was called, Eat You Alive or something like that. Their album came out in 2003. That album was huge. That's back in the day when like albums used to come out on Tuesdays, just with like physical media.
Mm,
The
I
music,
know.
the music video shop that I worked at did a midnight release for that Limp Bizkit album. Like, do you imagine that? Like back in the day, like people used to show up at midnight to buy an album just so they can get it first. Insane. Now you can just Spotify. Man,
Fuck the bear thing, no man.
yeah.
No, I mean, it really depends on what band is putting out CDs. Still, I'll still collect.
You still
Try
buy
to collect
CDs?
vinyl.
Oh yeah, vinyl's huge. The price for that though keeps going up, man. It's like, oh, the Beatles have a greatest hits, $45.99.
45.
Crazy.
You know, you mentioned the Beatles. I'm actually a big fan of the Beatles. So, I don't own any of on vinyl. I have the CD box sets.
Oh, nice.
I'm a big box set guy.
Good, good. I like that.
Girthy box sets.
Yeah.
Like
And
this isn't.
they did have some like their CD box sets were pretty girthy because for the longest time before iTunes was huge, Apple owned rights to the Beatles. So the only way you could get like a brand new Beatles CD was when Apple decided to release it. And I think even on your box set, there's like a little Apple logo on those CDs if they're like remastered when Apple put them out. Fucking Apple.
Do you know
New
who?
Beatles CD,
Did you know?
$24.99.
Did you know I had all the catalog rights to that?
Who
To the
did?
Beatles songs. Michael Jackson had the
Oh
had
yeah,
the catalog.
yeah. Yeah, at the
I
time,
still
yeah.
find that crazy.
And then
You,
yeah,
you son of a bitch.
yeah.
Man.
And now that he's gone, wouldn't that be funny if Paul McCartney owns all the rights to him and the Beatles? I think Paul McCartney got him back, unless he's the one who sold them to Apple, I think.
I
Or
know that I don't even know if he got him back. I just know I know he wanted to.
because
He
I know
wanted to do it with Yoko Ono, and then like, well, if anyone's gonna get him, it might as well be like one of our friends, Michael Jackson. But since his passing, I'm not too sure. I think it's just what Sony. I forgot what was it?
it's probably Apple.
Apple. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it goes for way more than what Michael Jackson actually paid to have it. So I mean, if Paul was struggling to to get his hands on the catalog, I don't know.
Yeah, because I know.
I like how we're talking to the movie review, though. We're going to the music topic. See what's going on here. Just talking about Beatles. But before because we're talking about, I was at the mention of box sets popped up. Normally, we're trying to get like a uh do like a UHD where you should talk about physical media and show it off. And I wanted to show up a recent pickup.
Recent pickup.
A recent pickup. It's a box set.
Let's see that girthy box set.
It's not too girthy, but it has some size to it.
Oh, nice.
Children of the Corn box set. Yeah, it's the first three movies. They come with a poster. It comes with a little booklet about the movies. The first one actually is a 4K. The other ones are just Blu-ray. Bam, for so much glare. But
The best part about those are the smell.
what the smell?
Mm-hmm. Those booklets.
Here's your little bonus. Oh, what were you gonna say before I showed off this box?
I can't remember. It had something to do with the Beatles.
Oh. Uh, since on the Beatles, I know there was a Hard Day's Night 4K release on Criterion.
Do you have the 4K one? Did you pick it up?
No, I didn't pick it up. I still own the Blu-ray one. I heard something
Absolutely.
about they was doing like a recall on that one, or it's pulled off the
Probably.
shelves.
Yeah, some of their 4Ks they had to do recalls on. Like they did a recall on the Citizen Kane 4K box set, but it was just because the regular Blu-ray something was off with the audio, and I was able to get it day one. And I'm like, I'm not gonna send this shit in for the Blu-ray. Like I bought it for the 4K. I'm not gonna resend it in for the Blu-ray. Fuck the Blu-ray disc. I'll throw this shit away.
Damn, that's how you feel. The 4K, so
Those 4K Criterions though are getting pretty pricey. I think they're going for like $50. But we're a few short months away from July. Nick, I don't know how big you are with Criterion, but in July they have a 50% off sale at Barnes and Noble. Instead of paying $40 for Criterion, they're $20 a piece.
Nice.
I go in there with $200 every July.
$200.
GOTHiKA.
Goth. Do we? I don't know. I feel like the conversation. I don't know. I feel like it kind of went by fast. Was there anything like did we miss?
I don't think anything that was missed. I mean, it was pretty simple. It's a quick, easy hour-and-a-half movie. You're in, you're out. There's no really big issues with pacing for this movie, or the movie doesn't solely base itself on jump scares, so you don't have to worry about the movie just being all about jump scares. Like, it makes you think. It's a psychological thriller. It has ghost story, horror elements to it as well. Yeah, I think we touched on it pretty good. Nice little episode. Really fun review. I didn't find the movie on any kind of streaming service though, but I highly recommend this movie to anybody who's checking out this episode. It's $1.99 on YouTube. So yeah, you can rent it for like $3 anywhere. Vudu, Apple TV, Google Play, YouTube. It's worth the watch. So I would definitely rent it for $3 if you can't find it.
And buy the Limp Bizkit album.
Oh yeah. Check that song out on Spotify. Behind Blue Eyes. It's a pretty good song. Like, even though it's depressing as shit, like, it's a good song.
And become a soundtrack to my life.
Fred Durst. Underrated.
Underrated. He keeps rolling.
Yeah.
Was there any film facts?
There were some film facts. I'm glad you brought that up because it was pretty fun. Robert Downey Jr. broke Halle Berry's arm during the hospital interrogation scene.
Shit.
Downey was supposed to grab her arm and twist, but he twisted too arm and the arm snapped. Production was halted for 8 weeks. Yeah. Don't fuck with Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. and producer Susan Downey first met on the set and fell in love. They got married in August 2005 and later started their own production company, Team Downey. So, okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Although it was not the first Dark Castle Entertainment horror film to be critically panned, and it wasn't the last. It was the first, however, and still is the highest grossing film to be released of the production company, with $141 million grossing against its only $40 million budget. So I'm guessing Dark Castle Entertainment was like Blumhouse before Blumhouse. They did like Ghost Ship and this movie and some other horror movies, I guess. Robert Downey Jr. and John Carroll Lynch was in Zodiac together in 2007. This was the directorial debut of Matthew Kravitz, his American film production. So,
the film poster, the Not Alone on Halle Berry's forearm is written running from wrist to elbow. However, in the film, when she removes her bandages, it runs elbow to wrist.
I thought you were going to say that it was actually carved, like they actually carved that in her.
They carved it. Very committed in the role. You could probably see it in recent images. So there. So apparently there's a plot hole. Apparently, I'm looking at some of the stuff here. There's, I don't know, I guess just a random person though putting this out. It's like, there's no way the guards couldn't see Miranda in the swimming pool. For one, you can see the clear to the bottom of the pool, and their flashlights shine clear to the bottom. And when she emerges, she screams. She should have heard her since they just exited the pool area.
I want to bring this one up to you and see what you think. Halle Berry was listed as a potential nominee for a 2004 Razzie on the ballot, which means she was suggested getting the worst actress category for her performance in this movie. She failed to receive the nomination, but she did win the next year for Catwoman. I don't think GOTHiKA was that bad, and I don't think her acting was that bad. What's up with that, man? That got me a little hot under the collar. I don't think she was bad in this movie, and I don't think this movie was that bad. But yeah, unfortunately, she got nominated for Razzie in this movie. That sucks.
On this thing, it has quotes. So one of the quote sections, like, the Chloe, she's like, it was the only way to help him stop Miranda, which is, I believe, Halle Berry's character. She's like, stop what? Chloe, stop fucking me. I was like, what? I guess. I mean, is that a memorizable quote? I don't even know what the hell this site is. I guess just trivia stuff, quotes, plot holes apparently. It looks like it's just written by like fans.
Wow. So those were the film facts this week.
The facts of the film. Yeah, that. I think out of all of my, I don't know, just to give a basic, a generic answer. I say I like the poster film thing. Whatever. The poster. It was on this arm or this location. But in the movie, it's on this location. I was like, all right, continuity errors. But yeah, to be continued. Do you think this movie should have a continuation?
Personally, no. I do think, even though I kind of nitpicked the ending, I do think this movie ended a little better than I thought it was going to. I don't think you need any kind of continuation. Halle Berry's character was relieved. She was technically kind of set free. And it proved with seeing the little boy disappear. You could have maybe done another, followed like Penelope Cruz's character. I don't know, but I don't think this one needs another movie. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I guess I can say, I mean, no, not necessarily. But if they were to, I mean, that would go the same, what you said, follow like Penelope Cruz's character. I feel like it's kind of such a tease with the little boy at the ending. So all right, there'll be another story with this little boy. Now he's gonna be a dick to Halle Berry or whatever.
Oh yeah, you let me get hit by a fire truck. My back.
You already did, boy.
I wasn't ready.
It's like, how am I gonna get justice for you? But yeah, this is a one and done way.
Yeah, even though everything in 2003 and 2004 was getting sequels, like didn't they do like The Grudge 2 and Ring 2 and
I think those movies were they were given though, since the original ones they were doing a lot of sequels to them.
this movie, yeah, I mean this movie made the budget, made the money to have a sequel, but I agree, no sequel to be done here.
They probably couldn't think of a sequel. Like, what should we do? What should we do? Well, there's that scene we put towards the end with the little boy getting hit by a truck. Oh, no, I got nothing.
Pet Cemetery vibes.
Oh shit. Pet Cemetery. Next
Oh
one
no,
trailer. This is you, man. This is
me.
this is all you. I'm ready for it.
I hope I don't disappoint, but I thought about this one.
I'm already disappointed.
I was like, you know what? This movie defines the word underrated to me.
GOTHiKA 2.
And I had to reach the very, very bottom of my film knowledge. So we're gonna.
It's Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
There's no 4K releases of this yet, is there?
No 4K yet, no. But I know they've had like some different Blu-rays and some different what is it?
I know Arrow Video did a release. I think that's probably one of the cooler looking
I almost got
cases.
the Steelbook one day when it came out, but I still have the original Blu-ray from when it first came out on Blu-ray. But this movie is on premium Hulu and or HBO Max, or you can yeah, I think the physical media was not very expensive either. I think my Blu-ray I found for like $7. But that's the next episode that we're doing. That would be what, April the 27th?
27th.
2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Are you excited? You wanna put a little bit of cheese on that?
Somebody you want to go in that cheese direction?
Yeah.
I'm down to talk about it. Probably maybe reach out to Fuentes. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a good episode to have a guest feature in it.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, if you guys want the physical media copy on Blu-ray, it's $7 on bestbuy.com.
$7.
$7. And it's the same artwork of the one that I have, which is a little not too bad. But yeah. Nice little fun movie to talk about. So I haven't revisited either in quite some time. Probably like I think for some reason this was one weird movie that we decided to talk about like episode 3 or 4 way back when. And I think that's the last time I seen this movie. So 2017, 2018 is the last time I seen this movie. Fun
The
movie.
revisit.
Revisit, yeah. But I was like, you know what? Underrated. You know, some of the first stuff that we were talking about with this podcast was cheesiness, B-rated horror movies, and I'm like, let's see how this one does. So I almost picked Silent Hill, but I think like you said, we'll save that for another movie, another show.
So now
Yeah.
that's another. Yeah, Killer Clowns, man. I'm ready for it. Let's see. As far as stalking us, I mean following us, you can follow our Friday the 14th podcast page, Friday at Friday the 14th podcast UHD, the D is silent. No, that's not. And you can follow me at the 4K bad guy. Let's see, what was the last? I think my last post was about the Scream slip cover.
It's a nice slip cover.
It is it's beautiful. I actually I was able to get the steelbook online.
Nice.
So yeah.
You ready for it? Have you seen it yet?
That. What, the movie? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as ranking system, I don't know. I haven't fully put that out to you. But I'd say it's probably my second favorite, or around there.
That's hard.
You put Scream 3 at number 1.
Scream 4, actually. No.
Emma, was it Emma Roberts?
Emma Roberts or Hayden Panettiere. Yeah.
And what can I stalk you on?
Oh,
or can they stalk you?
I said Hayden, and I just started. Yeah, I was just rewatching Scream 4 in my head. You guys can stalk me at Cinnamon Movie Podcast on the Instagram. One word. Check out some physical media posts. You can check out some of the posts from our podcast that we do on Mondays. And then giveaways. So yeah, it's all right there. Cinnamon Movie Podcast on the Instagram. Check out the bio for the link tree, and that link tree you can find all of the ways to find us. So link tree it up.
Nice. And before closing out, as far as our next review for Friday the 14th podcast, the main show, sorry, what was it? Do you remember the name of the movie?
We want to do this. I don't, honestly. I'm not.
Let's see. So the movie is called "There's Someone Inside Your House." This is a Fuentes pick, and it's a Netflix original exclusive, I think. It's from the minds of James Wan and Sean Levy. I think, like I said, that was in the last episode. James Wan. I mean, it could be hit or miss.
Hit or miss, yeah. But this is a Netflix movie, and it is streaming on Netflix, and that's what we're going to talk about next Wednesday, right?
Next Wednesday.
Are you excited?
No, I'm not excited. No. Based off I'm trying to think about the movies I've actually reviewed that were Netflix movies. So I don't know. I'm just going with low expectations. What was the other movie was I think Netflix one, right? With the Ashley Green and
Oh yeah, the Ashley Green movie.
I think that was a Netflix one. Yeah, but maybe the Return of Fuentes. I mean, he was MIA in the last episode, so he'll be there.
The Collection.
Watch him watch him call in. Like, no, I can't do it.
Netflix exclusive.
Exclusive. Um, yeah, that's today's episodes, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one, next two,
Every week.
every week, every Wednesday, every night. All right, guys. Remember, folks, always been the bad guy.